Let's get into some raw foods, brothers and sisters. Karyn Calabrese is a Chicago-based raw foodist that has owned and operated a number of raw food and vegan restaurants in her many decades practicing and teaching in the raw food space. Her 2013 book, Soak Your Nuts, and yes, that is the title, Soak Your Nuts, Karyn's Conscious Comfort Foods, Recipes for Everyday Life. In the introduction to this book, Ms. Karyn Calabrese writes, "More than 30 years of personal experience, research, and health counseling have proven to me that a raw food diet truly is the way that God and nature intended us to eat. No matter your experience or what piqued your curiosity, I'm sure you've heard some of the buzz about this trendy new diet being touted by celebrities and the occasional enlightened doctor. Let me tell you, there's nothing new about it. This is the oldest diet on the planet and the way that human beings were meant to nourish their bodies. I believe it is only by cooking and over-processing our food that we begin to suffer from the dramatic degeneration and diseases that seem to plague us. The human body is an amazing machine. Its tissues regenerate every 3 months and its cells every 7 years. Our bodies are designed to heal themselves of everything from a minor cut to a major illness. However, our bodies will only be as effective as we make them. Bad food choices, stress, and the chemicals in our environment tax our systems, and our cells no longer regenerate as efficiently. I have just as much stress in my life as anyone else. And living in a city, I am exposed to my share of toxins and chemicals. Yet thanks to a raw food diet and regular detoxification, stress and chemicals don't seem to affect me on a cellular level, and my immune system stays strong, my mind clear, and my body pain-free. Have you ever noticed that after a big meal, particularly one consisting of meat, dairy, and heavy cooked foods, you feel tired, less sharp, even moody? That's because a large amount of your body's resources are being devoted to digestion, and there's less oxygen circulating to your brain and your cells. Our digestive system is so busy trying to break down foods it was never meant to process that our other systems have less chance to help us heal and to fight stress, free radicals, and toxins. Now imagine this happening every day for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. It's no wonder 1 in every 2 people in our lifetime will develop cancer or another degenerative disease. A raw vegan diet doesn't put that same burden on your body. One of the other main benefits of a raw diet is the alkalizing effect it has on our bodies. Our bodies are constantly working to stay alkalized because an alkaline body means more oxygen in our blood and higher resistance to diseases that can't survive in an alkaline environment. Meat, animal products, and most cooked foods are acidic and immediately contribute to imbalance in our bodies. On page 50, there's a recipe for almond pate. Here's what she writes. Pate is a versatile staple of the raw diet. Change the veggies and seasonings to vary the taste and to create different ethnic recipes. Here are the ingredients. 2 cups of almonds, 1 tomato, 1/4 cup chopped white onion, although I prefer red onions, 3 to 4 tablespoons Bragg, B-R-A-G-G, liquid aminos, 2 cloves garlic, although I always use way more than 2 cloves, and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I know a lot of you brothers and sisters in the kitchen, you don't measure anything. So you do what the ancestors called and what the late and very great Vertimer Grosvenor called vibration cooking. Vibration cooking. Y'all just cook from the soul, and I love it. I'm a brother who tends to measure. And here are the directions. Soak the almonds in enough water to cover for 8 to 12 hours. Drain and rinse. Transfer the almonds to a food processor and pulse several times until coarsely chopped. Add the tomato, onion, Bragg liquid aminos, garlic, and cayenne pepper. Process into a creamy paste, stopping occasionally to scrape down the work bowl. Stored in a covered glass container in the refrigerator, almond pate will keep for 7 to 10 days. Any leftovers may be spread onto a dehydrator tray and dehydrated at 118 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 hours to make crackers. The crackers will keep indefinitely. Karyn Calabrese. From her 2013 book, Soak Your Nuts, Karyn's Conscious Comfort Foods. Recipes for everyday life.
So it is such a buzzword in this day and age, detox cleanse, transformation, which is so important to us as human beings to continually do. I'm often asked, Karyn, how have you done this for 50 years? Well, even though I eat 100% plant-based, 99.9% raw food, I still detox and cleanse my body a minimum of 4 times a year. But what I really want to convey to you today is, yes, that's a good end result, but how do we get there? How do we make the changes to actually get to that point where we can make a huge change? And so much of that comes with going a little against what we're comfortable with in ourselves, because I'm talking about making yourself number one. Yep, that's the most important thing that we can do. And I know people constantly say, well, you know, I've got to do this with the kids. I've got to do this to make money. I have to do this. We have a million reasons for putting it all outside of ourselves. But the reality is, when you become that selfish person of taking care of yourself first, making you number one, there's so many more people you can reach and help without even trying, because people are learning just by example of how you're living in your life. And you're living your life because you are transforming, getting better and better and better. We don't go from A to Z overnight. That's another thing people go, well, you know, I read about this today. I heard someone speak about this, and well, now I'm a raw foodist, or whoop, now, and yeah, it is great to jump all in. But if you're not that type of person to jump all in, and I do have to say, I'm seeing more and more of these people that jump all in, especially the younger generation, they jump right back out as quickly as they jump in. You know, oh, I'm a raw foodist now forever and ever and ever. But the point of my story here today is allowing yourself the bridges, knowing that you don't necessarily go from A to Z overnight. I don't know any other thing in your lives that you just pick up a book and it's done. You hear one speaker and it's done. You know, you read one math book and now you're a mathematician. Although it may be closer to do that now in this day and age than when I started teaching all of this. But I guess the best advice that I want to impart to you, and it's certainly not a rule of rules or a should of shoulds, it's just part of what has worked for me over the past 50 years. What I've relied on and gone back to or used as a staple for change in all the thousands and thousands of people I've worked with. It's been my staple for change. Make yourself number one, and do realize you can't go from A to Z overnight, right? It's a process. Everything is a process. So remember that if you don't take care of your body, the most magnificent machine you'll ever be given, where are you going to live?
Brothers and sisters, if you're not accustomed to eating raw foods, if that's a new thing for you or not a thing at all, give it a try. Give it a try. Your body, your mind, your soul, your emotions, they will all say, thank you.